Who needs a Slayer Master when you can just buy your Slayer task kill count? That's what Jagex employees probably said when they released wildcards for the first time. Now there's even more of these items and Slayer's looking more buyable than ever. Let's talk about it, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. You'll never guess how these new Slayer wildcards are being pumped into our game. Nah, who am I kidding? Of course these cards are being introduced through a treasure hunter promotion, aka MTX. I mean, Uncle Jagex wouldn't have had it any other way. Running since May the 2nd, the Assassin's Return promotion, with far too many mechanics and blah blah, introduced 16 different wildcard variants for pretty much the best high-level Slayer tasks most players will be able to do. The only two tasks I'm missing here are Risen Ghosts and Armored Phantoms, which are both some of the top Slayer XP tasks in the game. If you're interested in a little bit more context, check out my Slayer data spreadsheet in the description down below. Now this is a somewhat old sheet, as I still have to do a lot of the tasks with Necromancy and the other combat styles since those buffs, but either way you're going to know which tasks are the best XP per hour, and some of them also have guides linked to them as well. So what do Slayer wildcards do? Well, first and foremost, they give you Slayer experience without actually being on task. One card is consumed per kill. Additionally, as long as your cards don't run out, you have on task Slayer drop rate, so you have a higher chance of getting rare Slayer drops, for example Cinderbanes or Nightmare Gauntlets. You're also able to use the Tuska's Wrath ability as if you were on task, so instead of it being a weak ability, it's a very strong ability, and this even works on the Magister boss, for which you can use a regular Slayer wild card or the Soul Devourer card as well. You'll still get that Slayer experience every single kill. You also might be pleased to hear that the 3% chance for ultimate abilities to execute non-boss Slayer targets still works when using wildcards. What is unfortunate though is that you do not get the extra accuracy and damage from your Slayer helmet when using wildcards. Wildcards are very expensive items, and these items are going to be no different. The supply of wildcards is limited by the amount of players getting them from treasure hunter keys, so don't expect these to become cheap anytime soon. If we take a look at the graph of regular wildcards in the past 6 months, we can see that they've definitely dropped over time, but they are still very expensive. Now, these new wildcards are less effective than the regular Slayer wildcard because they give you 75% of the Slayer monster's XP instead of 100% like the regular version. So these are weaker wildcards, but specific to a certain creature. Effectively, what this means is that if you're getting 666,000 experience per hour, you would be getting 500,000 if you're using that specific wildcard for that creature. Personally, I don't believe that using these for anything that gives you less than 500,000 Slayer experience per hour is going to be worth it XP-wise. Assuming 45k GP per card, you're going to be spending 9 to 45 and above million GP per hour just to be using these at Slayer creatures. You don't want to be spending that kind of money on something that's giving you 400,000 XP per hour. Pretty much any Slayer creature you're going to be killing more than 500 times per hour is going to be a very expensive bit of Slayer XP. Pretty much anything that isn't low kills per hour, such as Greater Demon Lords or Acheron Mammoths, is going to be very expensive. And a very important thing you should note is that if the specific wildcard isn't 75% or lower compared to the cost of the regular wildcard, you'd be better off buying the regular ones, as you're getting 100% of the Slayer XP per kill. A pretty stupid and funny example right now is that Ripper Demon wildcards are literally more expensive than regular ones, even though they give less XP. Now, when are these wildcards using for GP? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, because of their cost, pretty much most of these, if not all of them, are not going to be worth it for GP, but they might be nice to get a certain collection log finished. Now, they would be worth it for GP if, let's say, a theoretical Slayer creature has a single rare drop. It's a 1 in 1,000 for a 100 million GP item, so effectively you're getting 100,000 GP every single kill. Let's say that if you're using these cards or you're on task, it's a 1 in 200, so you're making 5 times as much GP per kill from just that one single item. Effectively, by using these cards, you're making 400,000 GP more per kill. This means it's worth spending 200k, 300k, or even 399k per card in this virtual example. Just a bit of simple math you should be doing for yourself before buying a bunch of these cards and camping a creature 24/7. I suppose these cards have their place in the game once they become a little cheaper, but my question is, why? Just why?